man, and he walked away. Wouldn't mind working, Captain Sanderson. Yes, I wouldn't mind working, Captain Sanderson. If you pay me my money, Captain, when payday comes. Told my captain that old Maud was dead. Yes, told my captain old Maud was dead. Never mind the mule, but their heart is on lead. Went all around, that look around. Went all around, that look around. And I couldn't find a mule with his shoulders well. 6 months ain't long, 2 years a great long time. 6 months ain't long, 2 years a great long time. Got a friend in penitentiary, doing 99. I've been down the river, the year of 1910. I've been down on the river, the year of 1910. With my water ball and shine, just like the man. So that was my version of Captain Captain, great Mance Lipscomb song. And Mance recorded it 3 times. The first time was on his 5th LP, which is on the 3rd CD. And he recorded also on his Lone Reprise album that was very scarce but has been reissued. And then he recorded a live version, which you can find on a DVD by Stefan Grossman. If I don't forget, I'll put the links to all those things in the video description. It's a rather unique song in the key of A. And it has a few signature licks, and if you know those, you'll manage. I'm in standard tuning, but I'm tuned down a half step to accommodate my voice. And here's the 6th string. That's a D sharp, a G sharp, a C sharp, F sharp, C, and D sharp. Okay, let's play the introduction slowly. So our long A chord, and the signature lick is, and notice that I do the slide, but I don't stay on that 2nd fret, 2nd string. I don't want to ring that it rings into the next note. And then I form my A chord, the cowboy chord, or the half bar, whatever you want there. Lots of double basses. He does that often when he goes from one chord to another, or to accentuate a phrase. And in this song it's very, very prominent. So, of course, we're using the country blues bass. It's not muffled like that all the time. It's more like that. Open and then muffled. And there's a special video just on this bass. If you search my database, you'll find it. It's called How to Play the Country Blues Bass. So, and I tapped it out rather cleanly. In the bass you will see just the open A string, but I'm hitting hard, like Mance does. Even though hear the third string ringing. So you get a full strong sound there. So to our A7 in the second bar. And then D major. Double bass, not like this before, but the long A chords, bar 4. Trill in the A7, we're going to do that a lot. And then we have the first verse, and it is introduced by a double bass there. A very intricate playing in the bass there, because he does so later on. So I'll play the first verse and sing it softly so you know what's going on. And I'll start with bar 6. Asked my captain for the time of day. Yes, I asked my captain for the time of day. He just looked at his watch, man, and he walked away. So, our long A, and a lot of double basses. That second beat of the 7th measure, you can play a single beat bass, single bass if you want. So, that's my captain. But you see, there is room for that double bass, I think. That's my captain. And it's kept short. Sorry. Again from bar 7. And then we're going to a D minor. I'm playing the full chords, the full D minor, but Mance just plays 2 fingers. Maybe that contributes. Maybe you'll hear the open G string there somewhere. He has a full sound. It's just not single string picking. He just brushes the strings, so he gets a full sound. Remember, his main function before he was discovered in 1960 was playing for dances and picnics and fish fries. So he had to play loud. So not fancy Mississippi John Hurt picking, but really the hard thing. So now you see that in the last beat, well, the 3rd and 4th beat, the pull-off, it's not really a pull off like that, but it's, I play the note, and when I go to the half bar again in the last beat, last note of the last beat of measure 8, to go to my long A, by simply removing your finger you already get automatically a pull off. So it's not really pronounced, but it is there. So that 8 measure, signature lick, A7, and double bass. Sorry. And notice that just before those double basses, very often there's a lone bass, so you have to be careful that it really rings the full duration of that beat. Don't muffle it. And then when we go, well, we did in the measure 13 and 14 the signature licks, and just before we go to the E7 in the last beat of measure 14, and now I'm changing chords in the middle of the last beat of measure 14. So the second verse, pretty much the same, and I'll play it slowly and then we'll go over it. So I'm going to start with bar 18. Wouldn't mind working, Captain Sanderson. Well, I wouldn't mind working, So, notice that most of the verses, the singing starts on the second half of the first beat, when you play that A on the first string. Wouldn't mind working, Captain from Sanders, and that's the same as before. Just not the signature lick, but let's say the signature lick with the A7 trill. And here we're doing twice. In the first verse we did it only once. Of course, these things are interchangeable. You could play bar 23 and 24 instead of bar, what it is, 11 and 12, for example. So you can add one hammer-on pull-off there in the D minor chord. So from bar 22. Notice that I'm really keeping it short there. Not that. Signature lick. If you pay me my money, Captain. Little bounce there to get into RE7. I'm not sure if he does that, but I like it. That was measure 26. And for example, it might be easier when we play bar 27. Instead of, you can play also when we go to the D minor chord. Sorry. You can use your imagination as long as you stay in the correct chords, going from E7 to D minor. Now, initially I only tapped out 3 pages. I thought, well, the rest is just about the same, maybe a couple of variations, but I think in the 3rd verse there's a lot of other things going on. So I transcribed that too, but it's then on page 4. So we move now to page 4 for the 3rd verse, and it starts, let's say, with bar 30, and then we go to the 4th page, bar 1 there. I didn't want to number it with the other bars there. Okay, bar 30. Told my captain that old Maud was dead. Yes, I told my captain old Maud, my mule was dead. Never mind, no mule, but our heart is on it. All right, so the beginning is pretty much the same. We have that. Go to a D major. Sounds a bit odd in the beginning, but it really works. So, and well, it works best if you sing Captain. Yes, I told my captain, the old Maud, my mule was dead. And now we go to a D9. So D7, and at the 4th fret of the 4th string we place our pinky. So and it really follows the vocals, and that's why I think he did it. Old Maud, my mule was dead. And in the last beat of measure 6 there, D minor, we go to the A. So don't hang in that D minor. You could play it there, but well, it's easier, I think. So let's do that phrase one more time from bar 4, 4th page, verse 3. Yes, I told my captain. Sorry. Old Maud, mule was dead. And that's a cool bar 7 and 8 variation on the signature lick. And he does that for the following 3 verses. I did it only, I think, 2 verses. Of course, all those things are interchangeable, and I'm sure if you're going to compare all the versions he played, that you will find a lot of differences. Also in the lyrics are quite different from version to version. So, important is here that in the last beat of measure 7, we play that with the thumb going down. If you pick it with your thumb and index, it doesn't sound good. I'm gonna do that. Sorry. No. And at speed it sounds even better. And then we go. And notice that for the last sentence, after the E7, it doesn't go to the D minor, but he plays a signature lick behind the vocal. So, and he does that for the following 3 verses. So, one more time from bar 7. Never mind, no mule, put your harness on it. Alright, then we have the solos. We have 2 solos, which are in the performance video of Mance are, well, exactly the same, and I just changed in the second solo the last phrases to have some variation. So here is the solo. It starts with a double bass. So at the end of that 3rd verse, we're not going to do, but sorry, I had to move the pages. We do want to do it correctly. Let's resume at bar 41. And then we go to bar, to the other verse. So the solo is not difficult. We're going to slide our D7 to the 9th fret. Going down, and play the same thing. Sorry. Double bass, and in the performance I had a little accident, and let's call it a happy accident. So I played that instead of. So it's a little variation. So bar 36. And bar 39 to the A chord. So the D7 is just, and we're gonna, when we play the 8th fret on the 1st string, do slight bends. Except the last one, we really can bend it into the next beat. Rocking between the A and the A7, and then going down. Little variation in bar 43. Of what we've seen before, but now it's playing only this once, the 4th fret, 4th string, and again with a downstroke. Downstroke and upstroke, well, up picking with the index. And now for the following verses, we're following verse 4, that's bar 45 and 46. That's the only difference. And then, well, I must say I really, well, didn't care anymore. I just played whatever I felt, using all the stuff we've seen before. So as I said, all those little fills are interchangeable, so you can work out your own thing, but we'll go over what I did. So bar 45. with a double bass starting of bar 44. When all around that look around. Yes, I went all around. Yeah, and then I did, I used bar 23 and 24. That look around. Couldn't find you with his shoulders well. You see, and then for the, after the E7 I used behind the vocals. With his shoulders well. And I ended 6 months alone, and that's exactly the same as bar 45 and 46. 6 months alone, 2 years ain't no time. 6 months alone, 2 years no great long time. Got a friendly penitentiary doing 99. So you see, I used the of the third verse to play that after 6 months. 2 years ain't no great long time. 2 years ain't a great long time. You see, I'm following the vocal line there, so there might be a one note more on the third string, second fret there. And you can adapt that to your own vocals, of course. Don't have to sing it exactly like I do. And then we have the second solo, and the first bars 33 to 34 to 40 are exactly the same. So I'm picking it up bar 47 at the E7. What I did is, instead of playing the D minor, I played the D7 on the 5th, 7th fret there. So, and I'm hitting hard enough so both strings ring, but I don't want that third open string to ring. So instead of careful playing, I really whack it, but I move my third finger, which frets the second string, 7th frets, a little bit towards my face, so it touches the third string. And so you don't have to worry if you hit too hard and hit the third string as well. Walking down the river, there's a little variation. Bar 23 and 24 for the D minors. When the water ball and shine, just like a man. Now I transcribed the end tank as Mance played it. Sorry. But I added a couple beats there, so we're staying for bar 51, what I did. And then I'm going to do 4 beats of that hammer on in the A7 chord. So you can either hammer on or play like that, just individual notes, first fret, second string. So that's it for Captain. Have fun with it.